Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Nyirenda and I am the CEO for Growth Development Consultancy. And today I will be talking about becoming a consultant or how to build a consultancy firm. So there have been so many people, friends, some of them like clients, who have been asking me questions or who have been inquiring from me how they can become consultants or how they can set up consultancy firms. So that's what I want to respond to today. So basically, I'll be talking about who is a consultant or what is a consultancy firm, and then I will also be talking about how I got inspired to become a consultant. And then thirdly, I will also talk about how you can create your own consultancy firm. And then finally, I'll share on some tips, some business development tips for consultants. Now, to begin with, who is a consultant or what is a consultancy firm? So a consultant gives professional advice to individuals or businesses in their area of expertise, usually on a temporary or contract basis, in order to solve a certain problem. So in a nutshell, that's who a consultant is. He is just there, he or she is just there to solve a certain problem for somebody or for a certain organization, as long as they are capable of doing that. And so you will also be in a position to discover that there are no legal boundaries to who can be called a consultant. So as a matter of fact, you yourself, you can wake up tomorrow in the morning and call yourself a consultant. Maybe people might inquire from you, right? But still there are things that you need to consider for you to succeed in your consulting practice. So that's what I'm going to be sharing today. So what are some of the different areas or maybe areas of focus of people who do consulting? So it's very broad. Like I said, the no legal boundaries is very broad. You find out that there are consultants in monitoring and evaluation. You find out that there are consultants in IT. There are also consultants in the medical sector. Usually people, they also consult lawyers. They consult lawyers so that they can help them in a certain maybe issue or so. And so that's how broad the consultancy is. Now, coming to the story of what inspired me to become a consultant. Actually, my journey of becoming a consultant and setting up a consultancy firm started while I was still in college. That is when I was in about, I think, third year. When I was in third year, I had an opportunity to get internship with different institutions. And so in third year, I had this opportunity to do internship with the CCP Synod of Livingstonia in Malawi, which is actually the biggest religious or Christian religious organization in the northern region of Malawi. So I was attached to that organization with the capacity development officer for the entire church organization. And so the capacity development officer was actually a consultant. His name was Mr. Martin Bugat. He's actually the man who inspired me to become a consultant. He came on a missionary work from the Netherlands here to Malawi just for that. So as I was working with him in his department, looking at everything that he was doing on a day-to-day basis, I was actually very much inspired. It was the talk of everybody. Everybody was in awe about what he was in a position to do. He was able to do a lot quickly, but also for so many people, for so many different organizations at the same time, developing systems, developing websites, and doing different kind of things. So as I was working with him, he gave me a different work like data entry and analysis, which further propelled or maybe further inspired me to become a consultant in the future. While I was working with him, also we worked on some big projects. Like we worked on some projects on how we could be in a position to generate income for the church, so that the church doesn't just rely on people to offer money for the church, but then they could be in a position to make profits through a certain venture. So we were looking at what kind of business ventures can we be in a position to come up with. He also gave me some assignments. From time to time he gave me assignments, like maybe to write a personal business plan, right, on how I can develop myself, on how I can be in a position to develop the community. So all of these things, my interactions with him, I was inspired more and more over time, and I determined that in the future I myself would also become a consultant. And so I shared with him how that I was being inspired to be like a consultant, just like he was. And he was gracious enough to share me some documents, but also inspiration, some books, which when I read instantly, I set up my mind so that whenever or whatever that I was reading should be implanted in my mind, or maybe I should become an expert of some sort, because I was thinking to myself, as I'm going to be reading these books in the future, I myself I would like to become a consultant, so I have to be good at that now. One of the books that he shared with me was a book on how to write business plans. Now, as I was reading through that book, I thought, this is the kind of thing that I wanted to do. That is one of the things that I was already kind of maybe good at from what I had learned in school. So through reading the book, I determined that firstly, at that time, I would become a business consultant, whereby I would be in a position to be, for instance, write a business plan for somebody. So I continued reading the book so that I should come to a place whereby I have enough knowledge and I can convince somebody that I would be in a position to write a business plan for them, or maybe they would be convinced in my skill for me to be in a position to do that. So that is my story of how it all started. So from there on, going forward, even after I was no longer working with Mr. Bogart, everywhere I went, I told myself that in future, one day I want to become a consultant. So I gathered different kind of content around me and started reading, and also started researching further on how probably I myself could become a consultant in the future. And then as time went by, as I got opportunity for some more internship in other organizations, like I remember I also was working as an accounts assistant. Even though I did not like accounting in school, but at that time when I started learning accounting, I told myself in future I want to become a consultant, and therefore I worked hard. I wanted to make sure that I understand what accounting is all about. Perhaps in the future I'll be in a position to offer a service like that to somebody. So that's what I can tell you, my friend. One of the major tricks for you to become a consultant in the future, you have to set up your mind at that particular time that anything that you touch on, or anything that you begin to learn, you will want to become very good at that thing, so that in the near future people will be coming to you to ask questions on how they can get things done. So continuation on that, everything that I was doing, I was inspired and I was working hard. And then there was also another time when I got a part-time job as a lecturer in economics. During that time I read so much. I made sure that whatever I was reading should stick to my mind, so that in the future when I become a consultant and maybe I'm talking at different functions, I can be able to talk with confidence. And so that's the mindset of a consultant. Every time make sure that you read things with a different kind of command, so that you believe that you can become so much better at that particular thing in the future. And then fast forward to a time where now I was in a position to get a full-time job. After I got a full-time job, I thought this is now my ultimate opportunity. I am going to finalize my training as a consultant at this particular time. And so everything that I was doing on my job, I remember that job was the monitoring and evaluation officer, right? Actually, I was also inspired to become an M&E consultant through all the things that I had learned through M&E, because it was a topic that was very much interesting to me. So as I was doing the work, every day as I was submitting maybe reports to my bosses, I was assuming that I myself am a consultant, right? So sometimes my bosses maybe could be telling me that you're doing too much, Daniel, maybe you should get some sleep. But I never took that for an answer. In my mind, I thought I was going to become a consultant, and I wanted to work hard on everything that I was touching. So that is my story, my dear beloved friends, of how I got inspired to become a consultant. I actually remember the first time I was learning about M&E, my mentor, another mentor of mine in monitoring and evaluation, Gracie Diller. The first day he taught me M&E, I told him that one day I am going to become a consultant in monitoring and evaluation. He said, you know what, Daniel, that is a good thing, but there is a lot for you to do. You have to learn. So I thank God for such kind of mentors who were there in my life. So through all of that experience that I have talked about, that's how we came to have a company called Growth Development Consultancy, where we offer different consulting services like business development, monitoring and evaluation, career development, but also marketing and branding. So my dearly beloved friends, in a nutshell, that's what inspired me to become a consultant. I don't know what made you think you wanted to become a consultant, or maybe if you are thinking that possibly one day you would become a consultant. I am here to encourage you that indeed you can be in a position to make it in this journey. It is very possible, and it is much easier than you might expect. So how can you create your own consulting firm? I guess that is the main question for you today. How can you create a consulting firm for you, or maybe how can you venture into consulting or become a consultant, or maybe perhaps make money through offering consultancy services? I'll lay out some steps, maybe possibly 6 of them. I believe that those steps, if you take them, if you consider them, they will get you established well as a consultant. So what is the first thing that you need to do? The number one thing that you need to do is find your area of focus, right? So there are different things that you can focus on as a consultant, but then you have to find your areas of focus, and you have to also make sure that you stream down your areas of focus. You narrow them down so that there are only a few of them. It is not going to be advantageous to you to start and then start offering everything. It's going to be difficult, because it will be difficult for you to learn all of those things at once. So find your area of focus. How can you do that? Maybe you can consider your educational background, or you can just look at your life and look at the things that possibly you are already good at. So that's the first thing. Number 2, after you find your areas of focus, number 2 is you learn more about your area of focus. So for example, you can choose maybe business development, or maybe IT, or maybe in a certain medical sector. You need to learn more about that. While I'm talking about this, you might also need to consider this very important point, that is perhaps not popular opinion. And what is this? It is not necessary for you to become an expert for you to venture into consulting. The little that you know, or maybe the information that you can carry now, as long as you are in a position to solve somebody's challenge, that is enough for you to get you started in the consulting business. So make sure that you learn more in your area. Learn so much that you can be in a position to solve somebody's problem. So read books, watch video content, look at what other consultants are doing, so that you can be in a position to do also like that in the future. And so what is going to be, what is the third step? The third step is you might want to get a job, right? So that's not an advice that you might be expecting from me, an entrepreneur, Like, oh, look at Daniel, the entrepreneur, is saying that I should go and get a job. Yes, you might need to consider getting a job. Consulting is different from other kinds of business, like maybe businesses where you go and order a product and you sell it. Like, for example, you go and order shoes and you sell shoes. That is much easier. Consulting is much complex. In consulting, you might want to know how organizations run, and you might also want to know how to build an organization. So the best place for you to get that experience is on job. So on that job, you will also get a lot of things. You will be in a position to get on job experience. Not only that, you'll be in a position to meet different kind of consultants who you can ask a lot of questions, and they can tell you a lot of things that can inspire you, but also that can tell you whether indeed you want to be a consultant or not. Not only that, while you are on your job, the other important thing that is going to happen is that you are going to establish networks which will be important for your future business, because the network that you're going to be building on that job, some of the people might be your future clients, and also some of the people that you could be working on that job can refer you to other clients in the future. And so from there, what is the fourth step? The fourth step is for you to start part-time, right? So you can start part-time while you are on the job. You can be offering consultancy services on a part-time basis, so which means maybe during the night, or maybe over the weekend, or maybe during your spare time. And then during this period of time, you might also want to learn how to get your clients. Very important. How do you get your clients? Actually, it's much easier than you would expect to get your first clients as a consultant. What you simply need to do is offer services for free. Think about it. You have a job and you have spare time, and you want to become a consultant in the future. Why not offer your service that you want to you feel you're good at for free? So you might look around your circle. You might look around the circle, the people that you work with. You might also look maybe your relatives or maybe your friends. Find one or two and then offer them the service, or maybe the expertise that you have for free, so that they should get something done. Like for me, I decided I will make logos for people. Not only that, I decided I will be in a position to offer maybe trainings, how to train people on how they can be in a position to get a job or to advance their careers. So that's the best way for you to be in a position to get your first 2-3 clients. As you are going to be getting clients, those clients, they'll be referring you to other people, and that's how your business is going to grow up until in the future when you are doing extensive marketing. And then from there, what is the fifth step? The fifth step is to create a brand around the services that you offer, right? So you might want to decide whether you want to create a company or you want to create a personal brand, whether you go solo as an individual, right? So create a brand around that, a brand identity, so that people can identify with you, can recognize you, but also they can trust you to offer them different kind of services. And so those are the main steps. And then finally, you can get yourself established and grow, right, by developing different systems, developing business models, and on and so forth. That's how you can get to grow your consulting firm. So basically, guys, those are some of the things that I can talk about in terms of what can help you to create your own consulting firm. And then finally, for today, I will also want to talk about what are the business development tips for you as a consultant. After now you have established your firm and you want to grow, what are some of the tips that you can consider? Number one, make action a priority. When you think about doing something, make sure that you do it at that particular time, because you might never be able to do it again another time, or you might even lose it with time. And then another important tip that I can also be in a position to share with you is that you should be able to leverage your resources. So what do I mean by that? Make sure that you take advantage of resources that are around you. For instance, sometimes you might want to delegate work to other people, so you might want to find partners that you can be able to delegate to. You might want to build a team, or maybe freelancers that you share your workload with, so that you get things done faster. Not only that, you also have to take advantage of different kind of technology, learn different kind of software, pay for different kind of software online, like for instance Canva, which can help you to do a lot of work as a consultant, so that you can be in a position to do things much easier, but also much faster. The other important tip that I can also be in that you should also consider is building your skills. I remember last time I talked about how that you do not need to become an expert for you to join consulting. That is very true. But for you to maintain your business, your consulting business, it is paramount that you become an expert. So over time, you have to make sure that you build your skill and become an expert in a particular area. And then what is the final skill? So the final tip that you should consider for a consultant is you need to find out what are the next best things for you, right? Now it's good you're offering a certain service, you are solving people's problems, fine. But then for the continuation of your consultancy, you might want to come up with a product around the services that you're offering. Not only that, you might also want to make sure that you automate things, right? So maybe you should be in a position to get clients online, but also be in a position to interact with them online. Not only that, as you're making money as a consultant, you might want to invest in other things. So like for instance, you might want to invest in real estate. Because as a consultant doing work every day, you will get tired. You will get tired. So that's my recommendation. Make investments and keep on going. So basically that's what I wanted to share about today. I hope that the video today has been able to help you understand who a consultant is, but also it has helped you, or maybe it has inspired you on your consulting journey, and that you are actually going to be considering becoming a consultant in the near future. So that's about that today, guys. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Not only that, leave comments on the video, like our video, leave comments, tell us what you think about the video, and also tell us on the areas where you feel like maybe we can be in a position to improve. Not only that, what kind of topics would you like us to tackle in the future? Thank you.